Your brain is a marvel of the universe. It has tens of thousands more connections than there are stars in our galaxy, which is mind-blowing. It enables the creation of delicate art, masterful strategy, deep mathematics, and profound emotional connection. It's an engineering masterpiece. But sometimes, man, it can be really stupid. So let's talk about our stupid brain and why it works like that. As you may have guessed, stupid brain is an acronym, and it's meant to capture 11 of the most common cognitive biases we face every day. That's 11 out of more than 180. But if you can master these 11, you'll have come a long way to discover how your stupid brain works. Yep, my tractor runs on diesel, my brain runs on cognitive biases. Our brain's cognitive biases create blind spots in our thinking that drive us to incorrect or irrational conclusions about the situations we face in life, which is why stupid brain fits. As you may have guessed, since this channel is about alignment in your life, these are some of the things that will unavoidably get in your way. So I thought of doing a little series on each of the 11 to help you understand them more and give you some concrete ways to overcome them.
11 is too much.
No. Don't worry. In this video, I'll only cover one. Then I'll cover the other ones in other videos. But this first one is one of my favorites, and for me, shows up all the time. And it's called should statements. These are pretty obvious. They show up anytime we think to ourselves that the world should be different, society shouldn't be that way, our friends or family have to change, the situation ought to be different, or even statements like I must change. So have to, ought to, shouldn't, and must statements all fit into the should statement category. These should statements are remarkably interesting and lead to a bunch of cognitive processes that we don't normally think about. For example, let's face it, humans are creative beings, and one of the ways we create is with our words. Sometimes the words we use can inspire others, leading to real and physical creation, like when John F. Kennedy said,
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal before this decade is out of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth.
Which supersized an agency that was only about 3 years old at the time, known as NASA. Kennedy's words led to the eventual landing of a man on the moon and opened the door to continued aspiration of future generations into space. But these external creations are dwarfed by what the words we use create inside of ourselves. The words that bounce around inside that warm, meaty, dark, wet vat called a skull trigger all kinds of emotional cascades that codify themselves into quasi-logical stories that define little buckets so we can automatically sort similar things without thinking too much. Oh, M&M's. Oh, that goes in the yummy candy bucket. Oh, taxes. Oh, that goes in the crappy things to ignore as long as possible bucket. Oh, I forgot to exercise. Oh, I should have done that. Well, that goes in the evidence I'm a bad person bucket. Drank too much last weekend. Well, that's definitely going in the evidence I'm a bad person bucket. Every time you should on something, you're making a creation that unavoidably has emotional consequences. That creation is like a labeled box that makes whatever you're shoulding on either something to go towards or run away from, which your brain tends to automatically characterize as right or wrong. These creations can be big things like kids shouldn't ever have to go without proper nutrition. But they can also be small and superficial things like
Mushrooms should not be allowed on pizza.
But no matter what you're shitting on, your use of that word codifies in your mind either a negative or positive emotional connection. And once it's created, your brain automatically and non-consciously drops all similar things into that box. Now, shitting isn't all bad. It can be useful as a motivational tool. But in lots of other cases, it can have a negative impact on your relationships, your mental health, and certainly can get in the way of living an aligned life. And that's just stupid. So where are some places you might want to have a look? Well, any place where the shoulding is not helpful. For example, telling yourself you should lose weight or you should save more money are very common ways to should on yourself and might be useful if it motivates you to act. But if your shoulding is only about making you feel bad and making you depressed and demotivating you, then it's a sign your shoulding is doing more harm than good, and you might want to consider a different approach. Wow, I should not be this heavy.
So, how's that shoulding working out for you?
Not good. So why are you doing it? I don't know. Well, you know, beer and pizza night is not exactly helping. And what about all those cakes on the weekends and all those lunches out at work all the time? I know, look, I'm a social eater. Maybe you could ask some of your friends if they want to lose weight with you. I mean, some of them could really afford to lose some pounds, if you know what I mean. Well, it's worth a shot. I mean, at least they'll feel guilty with me. And who knows, maybe some of them will join you for a run a few times a week at lunch. Well, yeah, that'd be helpful for sure. See, problem solved and no shitting all over yourself. Smart ass. The same goes for your relationships. Should your partner be different? How about your family member or a coworker? If your shoulding is simply leading you to dislike that person, causing friction, or creating a hostile environment, then it might be a good idea to consider shoulding is not being so helpful, and then change your approach. Maybe put yourself in their shoes and consider how they might be coming to the conclusion that they're acting appropriately. Even if you don't agree with their way, at least you can empathize with them and stop making them wrong, which may help the relationship, but at minimum avoids you spending any of your mental energy or time thinking about them, so you can focus on other things that really matter in your life. And finally, shitting all over the world. Our politicians shouldn't be acting like that. Our society shouldn't be acting like that. The world shouldn't be so unfair. Look, I get it. The world, society, politicians, all should be different. But if there's nothing you can do about this, and your shoulding is making your life miserable, then you have to ask yourself, why are you allowing stuff you can't control to control you? Why are you even listening to your brain's shoulding? Maybe the thing to do is take a news break and ignore politics for a while, or just focus on useful things you can control, like work, a hobby, or spending time with your family so you have no mental space left to allow this other stuff to hijack your mind space. But look, if your shoulding drives you to thoughts or actions that are aligned with who you choose to be, then great. But where they just cause you to ruminate, get upset, damage relationships, and make you miserable, stop it and consider it's time to take another approach. And I hope this video makes you aware of this stupid brain mechanism called unhelpful shoulding and how it can stupidly and negatively impact your life, and maybe gives you some pause when you catch yourself shoulding all over things so you can reconsider if this is helping you or hurting you in your pursuit of alignment in your life. Where do you catch yourself shoulding in your life? I look forward to your comments below. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, be sure to click on the thumbs up icon, share, and please subscribe. Subscribing is free and helps me create more and better content. And until next time, stay awesome and enjoy your life's journey.